All right, hello once again. Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. We've been starting to go over the MySQL by examples for beginners, which is at the URL that is shown right here. So far we've looked quickly at the summary of commands, and we went over all of the database commands. We've started to go over the table level commands. Not all of them, but we started to go over them. In particular, we've looked at the show tables, the describe, and the drop table and the create table. Now we also started putting in record information. So we did the insert into, we looked quickly at the delete from, I showed you an example of the update, and now we're going to go into more of the select statement. We've also been introduced to the show warnings. All right, so I am up to about, I think it's section 2.5. Querying the database. So we now have our database that looks like this. If we want to look at everything that's in the database, as you see right here, we can do a select star, which shows us everything. What if all we wanted to see was the name of the product, the quantity of the product, and the price of the product? All right, then we could say select name, quantity, price from products. So if I only want to see some of the information, or if I want to see all of the information but in a different order, then I have to list out the field names. All right? And that's what they're showing you here too. Now, you can use the select statement without putting a table name in there. So I can say, for example, select now. And now is a built-in function, and what it shows is both the current date and the current time. And you'll notice that the date format in MySQL is the year followed by the month followed by the day. A little different than most of us are used to seeing this. And if we wanted to, we could even do some math here. So I could say select 37 times 23. Oops, with a semicolon. And it gives us 851. Notice we got that again because I didn't complete the command with a semicolon. So it tells us that 37 times 23 is 851. Now, would you use that? Probably not very often, but you could. All right, let's look at all of our data again. So we've got select star from products. And there it is. What if we only want to see, as they mention here, the products that have a price less than $1? So if I say select star from products, I get everything. But if I put in there what's called a where statement, then I'm putting in criteria. So I'm saying do this where the price is less than $1, 1.00, whatever you want to put in. And notice that I only get the 2 pencils because the 3 pens are all over $1. So if I change this, if I only want the products that are greater than $1, now I get my 3 pens. All right? Just a couple of examples. These are the comparison operators. You can use less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal to. All right? So if we went back and ran that first query that we put in, but we said ones that are less than or equal to $1, we get the same result as we did up here because we don't have any product that's equal to $1. Just in the same way, if we run this command again, and we say the ones that are greater than or equal to $1, we get the same results as we did up here. But notice if we do the equals and the not equals, so I say this, and I'm going to say show everything that's equal to, let's say, for example, $1.25. I should get back these two, because those are the two that are equal to $1.25, and indeed I do. Now, if I say show me all the ones that are not equal to $1.25, I can do it in 2 ways. I can say not equal, which is a less than followed by a greater than, and I get all the ones that are not $1.25. All right, so I can do it like this, or I can do it like this. And in both cases, I get the same results. So I've just shown you examples of all 6 of the comparison operators. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and I showed you actually 2 derivations of the not equal to command. So really 7. All right, and you can run these things not just on numeric values. So I can say, for example, select star from products where product code is not equal to pen. Well, and I spelled product code wrong. And I get the 2 pencils because the product code was peck, not pen. If I say, show me the ones where the product code is equal to pen, single equal, there we get it. And notice those are all pen. All right. Well, that brings us to this next section here that talks about matching. This is not equality. This is matching. So if I want, let's say, for example, I want all product names that have CIL in them. Again, let's do a select star from products. Okay? So I've got a pen red, a pen blue, a pen black, a pencil. Notice they all have pen in them. But only these 2 have CIL in them. So I can say select star from products where, and now I'm going to say name. I'm not going to say equal. If I did this, if I said if it's equal to anything with CIL in it followed by anything, this is going to give me nothing because that's looking for something that's got a %, CIL %. But instead of saying equal, if I say like, so I'm going to change the word name, we're name equal to, I'm going to change this to like, which is another keyword. Notice what I get. So this says, show me anything that the % is a wildcard character, which means 0 or more characters, followed by CIL, followed by 0 or more characters. If I say the same query, but I say show me where it's not like, notice I get all the pencils, or the pens rather, because they do not have CIL in them. So you can run these, okay? What if I want a product name that has in it a B? Okay, so let's select star from products. And notice with the name, there's a B here, a B here, and a B here. Okay, so I can have anything that has a B in it. So I can say select star from products where name like, and again I can say %B %. So it's got a B in it any place. And I get back pen blue, there's the B, pen black, which is the B, and pencil to B. All right? What if what I want is something that starts with a B but has an L after it? All right, so it's B, but it's got a character after it. So now I can say select star from products where name like, so it can be, okay, it can have anything followed by a B followed by a single character. That's an underscore. All right? followed by anything. Now, let's just try it like that. I don't know what I'm going to get back from this. Empty set. But if I do put this in and I put a single B followed by this, oops, because I put it in there incorrectly. I get back what? A B followed by a single character. Notice this B is not followed by a single character, so I only get pen blue and pen black. So the percent sign means, in my comments, the percent sign means 0 or more characters, whereas the underscore means exactly one character. Okay? So that's right here for the character matching and the like and the non-like. All right? Here's your arithmetic operators. Now we'll get into those more as we go on, but to the standard ones that you'd think of, addition. All right? So I could add these quantities, for example, and get 10,000 if I wanted to do that. There's other ways of doing it as well. Subtract, I could subtract one from the other. I could multiply, divide. Integer division, if I do this, if I say 7 divided by 2, the answer I'm going to get is 3.5, because that's the right answer. On the other hand, if I say 7 div 2, that says throw away any decimal place. It'd give me 3. And if I say 7 mod 2, that gives me the remainder. All right, and just for consistency's sake, you know, if we said 7 plus 2, we'd get 9. If we said 7 minus 2, we'd get 5. If we said 7 times 2, we'd get 14. And if we said, I think that's all of them, in fact. All right, so those are examples of the different arithmetic operators. All right, logical operators, and or not. Let's check my time. I'm at 12 minutes, so I'm doing fine. I want to do this, then I want to do the in, the between, the null, the order by, the limit, the as, concat, and that'll be it. I'd like to finish up section 2.5. All right. So, what if I want, so if I want to select star from products, let's just look at all of our products again. So there they are. All right. But what if I want to select star from products, but I want to do it where the product code is equal to pen, and this can be in lowercase, just so you know, and the quantity is greater than 5,000. Well, notice I only get back the first one, or the second one, because that's 8,000. With an and, these both have to be true. The product code here is pen, but the quantity is not greater than 5,000. So if I use and, both sides of the and must be true. On the other hand, if I use an or, now look at what I get back. Because this says the product code is pen, which these are, or the quantity is greater than 5,000. And all these quantities, except this one, which is a pen, are greater than 5,000. So with an and, they both must be true. With an or, one or both are true. If I use an XOR, that means exclusive OR. That means that only one of the two can be true. So notice when I did the OR here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back. When I do the XOR, I only get 4 back. Which one's not here? All right, the one that's not here is This one, because it meets both criteria. It is a pen and it's greater than 5,000, so it's skipped. So with an and, all conditions must be true. With an or, any or all conditions must be true. And with an exclusive or, also called an XOR, only one condition can be true. And again, they show you examples in here also. Are they better than mine? They're just other examples. All right. If I wanted to go through here, let's go back again and select all from products. All right. If I wanted to show me everything where if somebody said, I want you to show me all of the red pens and all of the black pens, I could type in select star from products where name equal, again, this can be all lowercase, pen red. Now, I can't say or pen black. I can't, this is going to give me an error. All right, and it gives me warnings. So it gives me the red, but it doesn't give me the black because it doesn't understand what that is. And if I show the warnings, comes back and it says, I truncated that stuff because I don't know what the heck you're talking about. But if I run this same query, and instead of saying that, I say or, which is a keyword, or name equals that, then notice I get them both. So that is a way of writing this. Another way of writing this, which gives me a little less to type, is I can say where name in, where name in, and then in parentheses, pen red, comma, pen black, and close my parenthesis. Now it didn't buy me much in this case, couple less characters. But the more you have to type in, the more using this in will save you in typing. And from what I have been told, this is a command that was created for MySQL. This is not so much a database command. So this one should run faster than this one does. All right. Okay. Again, let's look at all of our data. Okay. What if I want everything in here? If I want all the products that are between 7,000 and 12,000. So that should give me that one and that one and that one. So I can come in here and say select star from products where quantity is greater than or equal to 7,000 and quantity is less than or equal to 12,000. And if I get that, notice what I get. There they are. But another way that I can rewrite this same query is to use what's called the between operator. So I can say here, between 7,000 and 12,000. And again, I get the same output. If I want to, I can also invert these. So I showed you before the like, I could do a not like. So for instance, if I came back and I said, show me all these where it's not between, then it gives me the ones that don't fall within that range. They're not between 7,000 and 12,000. So you can use not, which is an inverter, on any of these. All right? Null. Null means unknown. Right now, if I type in this, and this, they give you a good example here. So let's again select star. Select star from products. All right? That's everything. So let's select star. This is going to give me an error. From products where name equal null. Gives me the empty set. That I guess not an error. All right. But when you're checking for null, which is unknown, you can't say equal. Null cannot be expressed as an equality. You say instead of this, you say is null. Now they both gave me the empty set, but the second one is the correct syntax. All right. I'm at 20 minutes, but this is going to run a little longer because I'd like to finish this up. I'm going to again select star from products. And you'll notice that they're in order based on product ID. I want them now in order based on quantity. So I'm going to say select star from products, order by quantity. And now I get them in ascending order. If I want them in descending, or I could put also, just so you know, it's redundant because it does this by default, but I could put ASC in there for ascending. And again, I get the same results as I got before. But if I do want these in descending order based on quantity rather, I have to put DESC. And now notice they're in descending order. So notice these are in descending order, and these two are in ascending order. I'm sorry, are in descending order also. I can do an order by on more than one field. So I'm going to say order by quantity in descending order, followed by price, and I want that in ascending order. So notice the difference. Now it flipped these two values right here. So the order by clause allows you to sort, and you can sort, they don't have to be numeric fields. So I can select star from products, and I can order by, as an example, product code, and I'll do that in ascending order, followed by price, and we'll put that in descending order. So I get my product codes followed by my prices in descending order. Okay? All right, a couple more. Limit I can use if I only want to show certain records. So notice if I type in my select star from products, I get 5 records. If I run the same query, but I say here limit 2, it only shows me the first 2. All right? Sometimes when you run a query, you'll get a lot of records. They'll run off the screen. If you only want to show a subset, you can put a limit in there. And there's other ways you can do it too. You can say what you want to start with, and then how many you want to show. So notice if I run that same query, but I say limit 2, comma 2, now notice what I get. I say skip the first 2 records, which are these 2, but then show me the next 2 records. All right. 2 more quick things. The first is alias. And if I decide I don't like these names, so if I do, I'm going to come back again with my select star from products. And I don't like the names that are shown here. I wish these were all capitalized, etc. So I can say select. I'm going to put each one on its own line so you can see them. Product ID as, which is a keyword, double quotes, you can use double or single, product ID, product code as product code, name as product name, quantity, you don't have to space like I'm doing here. I'm just doing it so it looks a little bit, things line up a little, as product quantity, and finally price as product price. I still need to put in here from products. But notice how my headings look different. So I can use, those are called aliases after the as, and we'll see those later. We'll use those in other ways as well. Notice also that by default, numeric fields are right justified and character fields are left justified. All right, is there a way to center them? There might be. I'm not sure what it is, though. Finally, you've got concat. So if I want to concatenate together the product code and the product name, so I want pen hyphen pen red, etc. I can type in select. In fact, let's say select. We'll keep the product ID in here. So product ID followed by concat, which is a keyword. And what do I want to concatenate together? The product code followed by a space and a hyphen followed by the product name. And I will call that as product description. From products. And there we get it. There's the concatenation. So I've gone through the rest of section 2.5. In the next lecture, I'll start on section 2.6, where I'll be going over summary reports. Okay?